like. For the old razzle dazzle. That is
Today on the line, starting up, sProphet versus Liquid Jenkins, and we've already seen the draft. It feels like the analysts, they pointed out, I think what was really nice, which is both teams drafted to what has been their strength so far here at Omega League.
Yeah, 100%. I think probably if you go late game and it's even, VP is a lot happier. It's a lot easier to execute. You have this TB hero. We've seen TB outcarry basically everything in this tournament so far. But I do think that this Liquid draft, that they can snowball really hard. Their team fight between the Warlock, Puck, Void, Storm, Big Zips, like that's a lot of damage. I think you just need a lead in order to make it work.
Yeah, it feels like as we've gone farther and farther through Omega League, we're just getting more and more like wombo combo out of it. Like as many big AoE team fight abilities as possible, even if it does come at a cost of having those longer cooldowns, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is something you actually pointed out in a previous series. The solution to that a lot of people seem to be picking is to just pick so much of it that you are very likely to have a cooldown up at a given...
All right, we're going to try again here in this opening game of Team Liquid and Virtus Pro. See Boxy having his, what is very rapidly becoming a more signature puck for him. Liquid have picked it up twice so far in Omega League, and just like recently, they've been doing this split that you have been absolutely in love with, Jenkins. You have been in love with this newer idea that they seem to be bringing to the fore, which is basically splitting the farm between the 3 and 4 position.
It's just such a literal interpretation of what everybody has thought for a long time, which is that the position 4 is basically a...
Oh! No! That was sick. Oh, well played. Solo snuck in behind the tower. The board was giving him the vision. Look at him. He's even going to like try and body block a little bit. The board's going to join him. Mickey's going to take so much damage, and he's going to miss at least one full wave of experience. I'm surprised they didn't keep going. Maybe he was a little bit afraid of a supporter coming in, but look, here's Zayats. Now Zayats is going to be joining in the fray. Another time walk's coming up, so Mickey will finally get back to lane in a second here.
But the earlier in the game that you're doing these effective things, the more it snowballs.
Who's the second webcam on Virtus Pro? Because I couldn't really see, but I thought there was nobody in the chair.
It's just darkness. Darkness has enveloped one of VP's players.
Been taken over.
Yeah, they are.
One too many pubs, that's what happens to you.
It really is. Skewing on a Russia server.
Mid matchup, Noone versus Koifa's Storm Spirit, Nature's Prophet, which we've been like talking about a whole lot in this event. This hero just feels kind of like it has this insane timing. You cut your hair, right? You're just gonna like to get away from the sadness, you know?
I thought you were gonna refer to the Hikikimarus, which are like the Japanese version of meats. I think that's what Hikikimaru is. Hope that's not like something from hentai or something.
All right, Black, calm down here. Still waiting to see that first blood as Boxy, who's, we might have already said this, but 2-0 so far in Omega League with his puck. And instead of Sand King, which we've seen them run 4 position Sand King with this combo, instead it's going to be Taiga playing the Tiny, which I feel like is just as good, if not better, as a hero that has split some farm.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. It's always these blink heroes that want to get an early blink where it's like, it seems like honestly Taiga is just taking the farm priority even. It's not even like, oh, if Boxy can't lane, Taiga will take it. He just takes it either way, which is very cool. Like, Puck needs less, I suppose. You just need the levels, and then you can get the farm later, but Tiny can't. Like, I would love to hear their reasoning on this.
You know, though, like the one thing I can think back of is that moment where I saw like Boxy when Liquid was ahead and Boxy was like really far out of position. You know, like maybe Boxy just isn't like, maybe he's not feeling himself, or maybe he just wants to play more aggressive, but doesn't want to have the net worth position that kind of, oh, is Mickey actually gonna die here? Good blocks there from Insania.
Big wave, man. You can just dive him here, I think.
Yeah, they're just going to keep going. Mickey, he does have a Fairy Fire and the Healing Word on him. They're going to try and turn around and kill some of the boars. Pops the Fairy Fire, kills one boar. That was the boar that was just about to die. Time lock is up. Here comes the Furion. Looking to finish off Mickey. Quickly cuts through that trees and is getting out of here. He's not getting any of this CS, but hey, at least he's getting some of the experience and hasn't died yet. But boy, is this game being totally ruined, and he does not have a courier on the way. There's no regen that's about to show up. It's entirely whatever the Warlock provides. Oh, bottom lane, this is a big kill. They get it. First blood. So because Mickey and Insania managed to dodge that so well, they aren't the ones to give away first blood, and their allies get it instead.
Yeah, very nice. I think, you know, if you're Void, it sucks to not be getting that CS under tower, but that was a lot of wasted time. He even had no one who used his TP top, and then he had to walk back to mid, or had to TP back to mid with the TP scroll. So that's a little bit of space for Koikva. I think this should be a fairly Nature's Prophet favored matchup otherwise. So much needed space for him in this lane.
Still though, Virtus Pro doing a very good job of keeping this Faceless Void under-farmed, as he is the bottom core, because we're not include Boxy in that list, because Taiga's the real. I
don't even know who you include. It's like, this is not Dota. I hate to keep talking about it so much, but I find it so fascinating. It's just such a new idea. I actually hope they win, just because I want to see what their explanation is for it. All right, unbiased caster here.
You really are. Don't worry.
Let's go VP.
Insania going for the TP out, must have already used the Burrow Strike, I'm guessing, so he's good to go. Interesting that I thought he would have gotten for the second level of Shadow Word, just because they've been so pressured. But still 2 levels of the Fatal Bonds here.
Fatal Bonds, it doesn't scale that great, but you know, if you just feel like you want more damage, then haste, and you don't want to get close. And
yeah, this is what he did last time, right? He went 2, was it like 2-2-4 or like 4-2-4?
I think it's 2-2-2, and then you go 4 and the Fatal Bonds for damage.
Long jump in from Koikva. He makes his first rotation, picking up that level 6. There goes the Furion ult. Everyone takes a bunch of damage, but nobody dies.
A nice haste rune rotation with Storm. I honestly feel like this Storm hero can't really rotate unless you get a rune. It just costs way too much mana, unless there's like crazy dives happening.
Insania, he was, I think he was trying to do something with that stack that was there. Koikva ran past it, and he needed to get to the mid lane, but he was pinging that hard camp a whole bunch. So I think Insania was trying to do something about that.
Take the stack. They have a Sand King, please.
Mickey, level 5, so not too threatened by just a Sand King behind this tower, but no one. This is what all these Nature's Prophets do, man. These early rotations, they look to be able to take a fast, safe lane tower, and not much you can do to fight back when you aren't even level 6.
Man, this is so hard to stop when Nature's Prophet actually has levels. It's like he's a mid laner. He's the highest level in the game.
Yeah.
Who has the levels to deal with this?
Yeah.
Nobody does enough spell damage to kill the treants. Like, it's just crazy pressure.
And he does it so quickly that there's very little downtime, right? It's not like, oh, why isn't the Storm Spirit threatening that mid tower? He would have gotten like 1 wave over the Nature's Prophet,
you just
right?
Go back,
Like maybe we'll be surprised and one team is just going to dominate the other. But given their performances through this tournament, I feel like teams are on pretty equal footing here.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. It's looked fairly even so far. PP had the really nice like pre-game and level 1s, but after that it's looked pretty 50-50. Boxy's mid.
Yeah, what is he doing
Look at this guy.
here?
He's stacking. He's doing the stacking again.
Okay.
Man.
But like, So he's doing that while he is potentially ganking mid, right? If they see an opportunity, then he's going to go for it. But during this downtime, he might as well be efficient.
Yeah, sure. And he's kind of like farming a little bit too. While Taiga, this... Oh my god, what is this? What are you doing? You're a core Boxy. I can't get over this. I think this is so cool, but I don't get it. I want to understand. I'm not smart enough to understand this. He's supporting. Bro, you're an offlaner. What the fuck are you doing?
Taiga says, look at me, bro. Look at me, Jenkins. I'm the carry now. I've almost got a blink dagger already.
I'm so impressed by this.
And part of the reason you're so enthralled by this is that there are very few original and really big new ideas.
Dude, it's
coming to Dota, right? It's like
oftentimes
game. Recycling some of the things that we've seen before with new little added-on twists.
He's jungling the easy camp. I did see Puppy doing this the other day. I saw Puppy doing this as a pause 4, but he wasn't pause 3. But I saw it, like, Puppy will constantly do this, where he'll basically, if there's nothing he needs to do on the map, he just farms.
Yeah.
He'll just jungle, but he'll take enemy jungle.
Gonna be able to throw out the Primal Roar. Zions can follow this up, but that stun certainly wasn't gonna last long enough, and Mickey turns around and gets a 2-man Chronosphere here. They're not focusing on the same target. That is Koifa coming through to make sure to lend the helping hand. That'll kill Solo at least, but that was a heavy rotation. The Chronosphere used, all for a 5 position.
I think if you're Mickey, you're kind of cool with that, just because his game has been pretty rough. So it's something like that was supposed to be a gank that ended up killing him, and so he's like, all right, I gotta kill. But all this time, TV, he's just hitting up that triangle. He's farming those ancients. That's how this hero gets so huge. You use pop meta and take ancients faster than any other hero.
Yeah.
This hero has been broken since they put the ancients back in the triangle. That really made the hero good. Yeah. And then they, for some reason, made it so that his movement speed stays the same in meta. Thanks for that, Mr.
Yeah. So now
Ice Toad.
Just kind of runs you down. He's able to just play this very safe position up on the triangle. I imagine Boxy's going to be given back that bottom lane as soon as Taiga actually completes his Blink Dagger, which should be pretty soon here, especially the bounties coming in. Tranquil Boots complete on Zions as he uses his Burrow Strike to get down to the low ground, but he's going to stick around to try and take some of this experience, but they do know the ward was placed, so... Nicely done. Steals a level 5, but they still manage to get the ward, the initiation. There it is. Taiga with a Blink Dagger. Shows himself onto Solo. They get that kill. Resolution is around here. Zions Burrow strikes through the Roshan pit to hit Mickey, but they still manage to catch up to Resolution here. They need a bash, though. They really need before the Primal Roar goes out. The Primal Roar, it finally goes down. Resolution trying to get out, but he's caught by Taiga. Once again, the Blink Dagger ensnares and gets another kill.
Did you see what Koifa did there with the illusion? He popped the illusion rune and then he microed one, making it look like it was the main hero. So he couldn't turn around and roar Koifa because he's like, I don't know which one of these storms is real.
Yeah.
That was super nice. And it forces the roar into Mickey, which he doesn't care. He just, you know, presses his Q ability.
Right.
He's good. Very nice.
Did you say how you've grown?
I think he does say that, yeah.
Why?
It sounds like he says that.
That must be a lore thing. Or slacks when you need it. They have the follow-up. Oh, they do. They have the Orchid already from Noone, so this is a pretty easy kill.
Did they have a ward there, or is that just good? Oh, they just know he's there. Really good map awareness from VP, and nice Orchid timing from Noone. He has been farming this entire time. Devastating Orchid game, too. Not a single one of these Liquid heroes wants to get Orchided. Maybe minus Taiga. Boxy needs to be careful, man.
He's been caught.
Look at the death.
He has Fairy Fire and Wand charges, but none of that will be enough.
I thought that was a single right click, but I realized it was the SD thing. What,
That was the soul catcher.
where did that damage come from? It's like pure damage soul catcher. That's what it was.
Uproot and aftermath.
How does soul catcher work with Orchid? Does it? It can't possibly work as damage added to the Orchid.
I think it does. I think it does.
Really?
Yeah, it's all damage that you've
Wow.
taken. I don't think it works like Maledict. I think it's literally just damage that you've taken after the Orchid.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's a good question, though. It's hard to find these Dota questions, you know? Once again, 20-year-old game, it's
Yeah.
a lot of these mechanics we've talked about at some point. Not that
If
one.
somebody knows for sure, be sure to let us know. I don't want your guesses. I want 100%. I tested this in a lobby, and this is how it worked.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's a very specific thing.
Sorry, I wasn't talking to you. It's just whenever I throw these questions out there, people always give me these contradictory answers that are like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, that doesn't help me. I've already got an analyst telling me what he thinks.
It does.
I need confirmation one way or another. Resolution. He'll be caught by the rotation here from Boxy, who really needed to be a part of this kill and almost died. If he got Primal Roared, certainly if he got Primal Roared, he would be dead right now. Jeez.
Careful that necro book there, buddy.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh, look at
deny.
Nine.
What resolution.
So I thought Boxy was like, okay, Taiga was going to take over and be like, I got you, bro. I'll start roaming around. You sit in a lane. But no, they're actually hunting together, and maybe that's how Boxy will kind of recover some of his game. He just went from 6 to 7 off of being a part of a Beastmaster kill that was level 9, so.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Puck can get some levels, you have the coil, you can toss to break the coil, and
yeah,
it's good setup for the Tiny. Good follow-up for the Tiny as well. I feel like you don't need to farm. We probably would see him farming if that's all they could do, but I feel like you can run around and fight, and that's going to get you more gold than XP anyway, so why not?
The only thing that slows down a Terrorblade's farm, man, no. So that's all he needs.
Yeah,
Just give him some clarities so we can spam out even more illusions.
There's some carry players that spam ping their supports to give them clarities, such as Hector from Beast Coast.
Hector is the most efficient man in Dota 2.
I saw him
Holy cow.
spam ping an Undying who was across the map for a clarity. I will purchase clarity. He didn't even have one in his inventory. He was telling him to purchase one.
Uh-huh. No.
Insanity.
He's done that to me. But, you know, I'm me and he's Hector, so I'm like, yes, sir. Right away. Hold on. I'll TP in and give you clarity right away. Hold on.
I mean,
carry me, Hector.
If you're Undying, I feel like that's the only thing that you can do.
You don't have to stay in the game anymore. Taiga tries to jump in. It looks like Zion's got away with a burrow strike. Turns around, disruption, Wrath of Nature with the extra damage coming in there. This purge certainly isn't going to be enough, but with the Orchid and the burrow strike, Taiga will finally go down here, but Mickey's going to be set up for a nice chronosphere right as Koifa jumps in. That's a little awkward. Mickey hoping for the Bastions here to be able to finish off Zayat. They need a little bit more damage, and it'll come from Solo, as they did. Their fates were tied together thanks to the fatal bonds.
The unfortunate thing during all of this, though, is that you have the 3 cores of VP farming.
Yeah.
You have Beastmaster pushing top. You have Nature's Prophet going wherever he wants because he literally has a button that he can click to teleport anywhere on the map, which is very convenient. And then you have a TB, like the fastest farmer currently in the game. That's you don't really want to be duking it out with VP supports. I think you need to bring the game to the cores. Otherwise, you're just going to lose this in the late game. Okay, they're going to use meta to get the mid tower.
Yeah, Boxy's going to come up here and try and help out with this coil, but it means he's leaving this mid lane completely undefended. It does save him, though. Mickey stays alive because of that coil. Does mean they're going to try and rapidly rotate back to mid, but he's already taken so much damage. Toss back on ILTW. Zion's there to bail him out, but Koifa still wants the kill. He sees it. He's got the Orchid. He's got the opportunity to bring the big man down, and he'll zip over and get the dub on his sides as well. Still has just enough mana to work with. He's not too scared of a Nature's Prophet.
Really great Orchid timing. I was I literally think, I feel like the game snowballs from here for VP if he doesn't get that Orchid and kill TB right there. He needed that.
Nice avalanche, just good toss up. That's going to be able to get the kill on solo as well. Virtus Pro,
That is what you sound like.
in perhaps their haste of trying to bring down that mid tower so early, gave away a number of kills.
Yeah, the Orchid reveal was a real problem there. I think that's a really good push from VP in the sense that, you know, you're pushing on multiple fronts there with Nature's Prophet and Beastmaster and Terrorblade. Like, it's a lot to deal with, right? So Boxy TP's top, which means the mid push should be free. But there's an Orchid we didn't know about. So TB, he can die because he doesn't have his Matza style yet.
I have to say, I'm surprised we don't see more of this Beastmaster hero. He's gone over the last 2 weeks. He wasn't really contested too much. In about like 10-15% of games he would be contested, picked ban. Over the last 2 weeks, it's gone up to almost 50%. So the pickup has been more, but he's also at a 64% win rate.
That's insanely high.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he was looking pretty fine after the nerfs because, like, Necro does more damage to heroes now. It does less to creeps, but it does plenty of damage to heroes.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Beastmaster, like, yeah, sure, the farming was a nice part of him, but he, because of the Primal Roar, he likes the damage that comes out from the Necronomicon on heroes. Not necessarily about using it as a farming mechanism. Oh, poor Boxy, man. That is, he just gets like 4-shot by this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he's got to be so careful in this game. If he gets caught out, even remotely, he just dies instantly. I don't think he's going to get a Yule. It's going to take him a long time. He'll probably go for a Blink first, I would imagine. After his... Oh, he is going for... Okay, he's just rushing the Yules. This will keep him alive. It means that his pick-off potential is a lot less. But then again, he has a Storm and a Void, so I do think in retrospect this makes sense.
Nice Burrow Strike. Zayat's trying to stay ahead of this gank, and they lose the vision quite fast. To jump away from Resolution. The Primal Roar is available. They're going to drop the Golems here to try and save Taiga's life. Mickey, who still has that Chronosphere, is going to pop it right as the CC epicenter coming out from Zayat. This is going to make sure that's not going to happen. But they are dying to this Nature's Prophet. Taiga gets finished up, I believe, by the Necronomicon, and then the Nature's Prophet killed the Storm, so there's nothing left. Mickey's left on his own. Noone continues to go through these supports as now he takes on an Insania as well, and the hunt continues. They're going to use out a coil. Jump in. There's a combo up from Taiga that does manage to get the kill onto the Shadow Demon and protects Mickey's life, but this time around, it's certainly a team fight win for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, very nice from Zayat's, like, every single time, man. He's just getting the instant burrows when the Tiny is trying to initiate. Like, Taiga can't do anything in this game when he's standing in front like that. Really good start to each team fight just with the whiffed initiation there. And then Koifa zipping in, he's like, who do I go on? We don't have detection. Like, I don't want to go on the Beastmaster. He's got too high of HP. Okay, the Chrono comes out. We finally kill him, but we've committed everything for that. And on the back line, no one is just killing everybody with his Orchid.
So between having a Terrorblade and a Nature's Prophet, I think both cores you're kind of expecting to be ahead. TB because of how quickly he farms, and Nature's Prophet, that's just naturally how you're supposed to operate.
How quickly he farms as well.
Yeah, he's got rapid nature, he takes towers, so he should be ahead of the opposing core.
Yep.
Do you think 3,000 net worth, is that, should they be farther ahead? Is this about what you expect?
I think this is, I think they could be farther ahead. I'll hold that thought.
Burrow Strike into the Orchid. This is a dieback for Taiga. It's a big opportunity for Virtus Pro, especially with the Beastmaster approaching this bottom side. They are certainly at least going to be able to get a tower, if not more kills. Pull on back, but I believe the Storm Spirit's just getting out of there and leaving Insania to die. The team quickly surrounds Tier 1 tower.
So the reason that they don't have a massive gold lead right now, instead of like a 3-4K gold lead, is because they're committing to these pushes. And so they have this advantage when it comes to map control and ability to farm all of these areas because they have more towers, right? So that's the thing here, is that they're kind of sacrificing a little bit of their gold on
Boxty. He ran into the Nature's Prophet because he was trying to contest the bounty rune. No one TP'd into that. Now he's going to jump right into the open arms of Resolution, who's silenced for the time being, but eventually will get out this Primal Roar. And yep.
And this is exactly the problem. You go for towers. Okay, well, I think SD is fine because no one.
Yeah, he's actually fine. No one. Nice response.
There's so much fighting. I will never finish this point. There's so much fighting in this game.
You got it. I believe in you.
Basically, you have this eventual goal that you're going to get. You have this map control. You're going to get bounties. You're going to have more camps to farm where you feel safe. You can now take over the enemy triangle because you've taken the mid tower. You've taken the bot tower. So VP, now you can see the gold lead mounting. But in the time that they've been fighting, like they've also just been consuming the entire map and preventing Liquid from consuming any of their side of the map.
Yeah, Liquid hasn't really been hitting.
That's a good one. I like that.
Production.
Good stuff. I don't remember what I was saying. It's probably bullshit anyway.
Yeah, probably. I think there's at least a 30% chance it was bullshit.
Maybe a little bit higher, but that's pretty generous.
Yeah. You're baiting out Mickey. This is how you know a team is kind of in some trouble.
Everybody standing behind him.
Yeah, when they try and bait out a core, they're like, we're so far behind right now that they are just going to keep running at us. They're just going to keep hunting us, so let's try and lay a trap. And because it's a risky move, right? If it pays off, it looks really cool. Oh, look at that. They baited out their carry and then struck, and looks like they will manage to get a kill on a solo. If it doesn't work, though, you're 4 people stacked on top of your carry, waiting for him to hit creeps.
Yeah, the gold lead is just mounting more and more for VP while they're doing this, because nobody's farming. That's the problem here.
Hey, now they've got a Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, there you go. That'll be great for the Boxy Puck, maybe. His right click's not very effective.
Yeah, I mean, are you still enthralled by this game plan of Team Liquid? Because this is what it looks like when it goes bad, right?
I mean, I still find it really. I mean, you know, they're playing against an extremely good team, so who's been playing exceptionally well. So I still find it incredibly fascinating and cool. Okay, well, that's a pickoff.
Yeah, it certainly is a very big pickoff. Zayat's, yeah, he's taking too much damage. He'll get popped by the Orchid. Koifa is, I feel like he's the saving grace at this point. He's been doing a good job of, yeah, he's only died once, 7-1-3. Pretty respectable score for someone who's down 9,000 net worth.
Yeah, and we've seen today already what a Storm can do in terms of holding that high ground and potentially having a great comeback. So he is definitely looking like it could be one of those games. He's level 16, TB's level 16. I think no one is definitely a big issue. This is very similar to the NIP. You know, they had the TB and Visage, and you're thinking, okay, well, TB is going to be the biggest hero on the map, right? And then it turns out to be the mid that's just completely snowballing.
Yeah.
Like, no one has just been playing this game flawlessly. He has kept the pressure on for this entire game. He is giga fat.
In trouble. He had already used his Manta, so Mickey, it's a godlike spree being given to no one. No one is just coming into this game with some aggression, man.
He really is. He really is. And he has the items to match the aggression, too. Like, if he fed a couple of times, maybe he TPs into these fights and can potentially die, or there could be a turnaround. But he's basically taking this, like, massive net worth he has and pushing it to its absolute limits. And speaking of limits, they're actually going to go into Roshan with Void being dead, force the buyback.
For those of you guys who may have missed some of the matches of Virtus Pro, the reason we're talking about them being so good is they lost their first series against Alliance. The very first one they came into, they lost to Alliance, but they took a game off of Nigma and before losing that series, and then beat Evil Geniuses, Navi, and 5men. It's a pretty strong record. Boxy tries to go in. He actually gets the Roshan kill, so he gets something for his efforts here. Doesn't snatch the Aegis. That's picked up by ILTW.
He gets the XP, but, you know, that's...
Hello. Furion, no one. Move the tree, and sir, we can't get past. We're stuck.
They're still pinging him. That's so funny. Kind of feels like the old playing with your food scenario here.
Yeah.
They're just enjoying a nice game of Dota on VP.
Yeah, it's that point where you're having the fun of being able to crowd like out all the prey that's out there in the field still, just before they go to, okay, this is too hard to play. We just play on our high ground now, right?
Yep.
They haven't lost their tier 2s or anything like that, so they're still going to play outside of their base, but it's coming. Soon these tier 2s going to be knocked down, and then it's going to be, okay, how do we break Liquid's high ground?
When you were in elementary school, did you ever do the thing where everybody would be,
middle tower has fallen.
you'd have all the kids standing around in a circle, and then they would have like a, oh, never mind. This is a stupid analogy anyway.
Epicenter. They liked how they saved that Orchid for the last second, but he did still have the Manta. Mickey just getting the time dilation out there before he backs away. The Golden trying to lay some damage out onto Zayt's. Koifa will pull him back in. Zayt's is still pretty tanky, though. He's going to be Orchided up, but they're committing so much just to be able to kill the Sankey. He's going to be saved by the disruption. No Orchid damage is going to be placed onto him. The team was coiled up, but Zayt's is already snuck on by. This is concerning, Jenkins, when you see a team just try and pummel down a 4 position, and they can't even do that. Taiga jumping in with the Fatal Bonds. They have the Chronosphere out. A good amount of damage being laid into this Beast Man. Is going to finish him off? No! Zayt's, who survived earlier, gets the stun on the Mickey, saves Resolution's life and gets the kill on Mickey. As a result, they're looking to come in, still trying to finish off the Stand King. One more buyback from Taiga. Doesn't manage to take away this Aegis. Mickey, this is all in at this point in time. Liquid, they need to be able to bring down Zayt's. Finally, they do, but Boxy and the rest of the team, they're all falling apart. Mickey's getting some good damage in thanks to that upheaval, but he has to stay away from ILTW. That melee core with all of his illusions. Taiga clears him out real nice and quick. Noone, he's the scary one, thanks to all that range form. It's him and ILTW together against the world. And Mickey just time walked into it. Pops Manta trying to finish him off. He doesn't have the time walk to be able to get away. Toss up in the air for Taiga a little bit more to finish off Noone, but he's surviving the BKB. Can he do it? The disruption. Solo will bail him out. Oh, gets him at the last second, but by God, it was worth it. Noone may eventually die, but it cost Liquid so many buybacks here. Virtus Pro,
Middle tower
they may not be able to approach that high ground, but they certainly devastated Team Liquid's economy.
I think they're happy with how that fight went. I really like the buyback there from Shadow Demon coming in at the end and just making it a little bit harder to kill Noone, getting the kill on Boxy. All the buybacks from Liquid basically means on the next lost fight, they're going to lose. I mean, it looked not bad from Liquid. I really like the initiation from Taiga there into Faceless Void Chrono with the upheaval as well. Like, the upheaval looked just absolutely insane. But ILTW with the Sunder onto the Beastmaster, making it just that much harder to kill him. In Zayt's, man, how many times did you think in that fight, he's dead? Okay, he's fine. He's dead now. Okay, yeah. He's fine. He's dead now. Come on, like, how? Come on, man, just die, for God's sakes.
And that's the net worth advantage that we're talking about, right? Like, what does Zayt have that is making him so tanky? He's top of all of the supports. He's even ahead of Boxy, but
he's got friends. That's the thing. He's got the
friends. Yeah.
He's got the Nature's Prophet save, who is using the Sprout. He's got the disruption from SD.
I believe they have a pipe.
I believe there's a pipe on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, Beastmaster, right?
If he needed to be sundered, he could get sundered, but we saw that actually used on the Beastmaster in that fight. But there's so much just slow baiting that's happening from VP, and you'd think that that would favor this Liquid lineup because they have a Warlock, which is, you know, a lot of persistent damage. Yeah. Then on the side of VP, you have the 3 heroes that are basically right-clickers, Beast, TB, and Nature's Prophet. You have a Sand King who's going to be constantly doing damage, Shadow Demon who's going to be constantly pressing his low cooldown spells. So VP actually prefers to fight into these, you know, long engagements as opposed to these short ones.
And another thing, he's just got levels, right? Because they're winning the game, he's a higher level than most, and that's what I love about those strength supports, man. You just
tanky boy.
Tankier. The enemy team has to spill more and more resources to be able to bring you down. We're seeing that put to great effect. It is 20-19, but Virtus Pro, no doubt about it, they are absolutely destroying this game one with a 17,000 net worth lead. Liquid still has a chance. They haven't lost their high ground yet, and they still have very good team fight possibilities here. But it's looking very rough, especially considering that last team fight was not a win for them, and they had to throw bodies at Virtus Pro. They used multiple buybacks.
They did. And the thing is, I think they need to burst somebody. They need to kill one guy, and then the fight will be easier. Mm-hmm. But we saw what happened when they committed to killing one guy. It didn't go well.
Yeah.
I suppose the The thing that they need to change, they need to not go for Zayac. They'd probably want to go for solo first. If they can get a core caught out of position, that would be fantastic, but that's not really how VP is playing in this game. They're not.
Yeah.
They're playing as a unit. They're putting the guys forward that need to go forward. Look at this Zayac again.
They're going to go for Zayac because he's the one that's forward here. He is going to be able to Yule Scepter off that Orchid, but he will be caught immediately as he comes down.
Dire's bottom tower is
Okay,
under
that's a start.
attack.
That's a great start. I was thinking maybe SD was behind him or something, but I think with the bounty runes coming up, they were split to pick those up, and he was playing a little bit greedy.
Is it a good enough start to like smoke up, or do you want to focus on farming right now? What's the deal? What's
I think
the word?
I think if you're going to get anything from that, you have to smoke. You have to make a play right now. They just saw SD mid. He made some illusions.
Resolutions ahead of the other cores of Liquid.
Yeah.
And then there is a gigantic leap from Beastmaster to this Terrorblade and Nature's Prophet, who are about to both be over 20,000 net worth.
That's a blue Terrorblade. That is not the Arcana. That is just a double damage rune.
Yeah. He is sparkling with power.
Doesn't look like he's going to put it to any use, though.
Yeah. Liquid spot it.
This time.
Quickly get out. They're going to buy a smoke, though, from Taiga, so maybe Liquid is still looking to get aggressive and catch Virtus Pro at some point. I mean, there is this Roshan that's coming up in a minute time, so they are going to have to come outside of their base for that, no doubt.
Do you see Solo's build? He has a hood. And
Really?
Bracer, he's
Taiga
Bracer
with a nice avalanche Fatal Bonds combination. Look at that Chronosphere. Oh my god, that's pretty. A beautiful combination of abilities. Tried to get the Sunder off the last second, but it seemed like that was no doubt. That's what we're talking about. Liquid still has the right execution. They can win any team fight, and that's what it looks like right there. Just 3 heroes pumped up. Shout out to Taiga for seeing that opportunity and seeing it through.
Okay, so the solution is not to kill one guy and then take a 4v5. It's to literally kill them all at once. That is a good solution. I mean, it's very hard to pull off. But, you know,
Dire's
if you could do that a
top
second
tower
time,
is under attack.
maybe a third.
Who's Courier's in the Roche pit right now? I don't know how quickly Liquid's team can do it. That's the Terrorblade, so Liquid aren't going to know about Roshan right away, and they probably feel like they couldn't do it fast enough anyway.
It's a decently early spawn, you know, a minute from now. But unfortunately for the timing on that amazing, beautiful team fight from Liquid,
Yeah.
everybody's going to respawn and it's going to be a Roche fight again. And the question is, like, will they have Chronosphere? It is in a minute, so they will have Chrono very quickly.
Yeah, will they be able to pull that off again? That is the question. 3 heroes on top of each other for a Chronosphere with the Fatal Bombs out on them as they take all that damage.
Shoutouts to that ward in the Liquid jungle there. That definitely sealed the deal. That's what made that easy.
The old high ground ward.
The classic.
Nobody expects the most obvious ward of all.
No.
I mean, but that's why they were positioned right there, right? They had that ward up on the high ground. They wanted to be able to play around it.
Yeah. Somebody made the call to defend the ward, and that was possibly the best call ever. I mean, that's really good stuff for Liquid. If that turns around the game,
Radiant
if that happens to be the turnaround point, then whoever made that call is a genius.
4-man smoke up, a scan here on the high grounds, checking in, seeing if Liquid's perched up here near this Roshan pit. They don't see anybody, just the illusions. Resolution. It's approaching this ward, still smoked up, but it's going to wear out very soon. They're going to go back into the Roshan pit. Liquid, do they know? Are they going to move fast enough? Can they even get there in time? All questions that we will not have to wait very long to get the answer to, because Roshan is already dead.
What if TB's going to take the cheese or the Aegis? Okay, takes the Aegis. Or the Aegis. Just to be safe, no one takes the cheese. You could argue, like, you've seen teams not give TB the Aegis before because he dies and he doesn't have the meta when he respawns. Yeah,
transformation heroes, right? It's like these Lycans, Terrorblades, they're just not that useful with the second life.
But when that happens, I always feel like, I get the logic, but I just don't personally agree with it. I totally understand why you want to give the TB the Aegis just to be safe. It's like, this guy's going to be hitting the tower, right? You just hit without Metamorphosis. And if you die and you don't have meta, you just BKB and get out.
Yeah. Also, that like usually applies to Terrorblade, but now he's got a Scotty, right? So even in melee form, he is kind of scary.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. Exactly.
After all, he's got 21,000 net worth. Ranged or melee, that is a quite.
That was a short zip.
Yeah.
He could have been punished for that.
I'm sure he was definitely clenching there.
There was some clenching going on for sure.
Hoping that Zayats wasn't about to blink on him.
Please, I hate Curry. Don't make. Not gonna go there. All right, who's this in the jungle here? Mickey, just chilling, hitting some creeps. What does he got?
A bunch of illusions running at bottom right now.
Okay, he's got his MKB. I was gonna say he needs a damage for the TB.
Yeah.
MKB is so effective because TB has so much HP, or so much effective HP due to the agility, due to the armor, but MKB just pierces through that. Obviously, it's magic damage.
LTW, see, he's gonna pop the meta. As they hit this tier 3, they want to rip through this repair kit as quick as possible. Glyph goes off last second. Trying to get a little bit more heal timing here, but I don't think Liquid, they're not going to be able to protect it, and they may not even be able to protect this bottom lane of Barracks if Virtus Pro doesn't set up some sort of opportunity. There goes the Chronosphere, does manage to latch down 2, doesn't grab no one, and now he's been Burrow struck up, and Mickey, he's going to die. He does have buyback, though. They're going to still try and fight this out. Last hold here, potentially for Liquid, as Boxy trying to jump into the back line. Newell Scepter up on him. Zions making sure that Boxy's chased away, but they don't want to play too far away from ILTWs. He's taking one lane of Barracks. Time to go for a second. After all, they have no meta. We've got Aegis. Blink away real quickly from Taiga. They just got to poke at Virtus Pro. Wait for a better opportunity. They got to play off of the Storm Spirit zipping in and out. Melee Barracks going down. Orchid. Glimmer Cape, and Mickey can back away, but soon it's going to come down to straight up Megas. ILTW now in melee form. See if he can fight this out. Taiga tries to make his initiation. They do manage to get this beautiful coil onto 3 in the back line. Quaver's trying to finish off. The Fate of Bond's doing a good amount of damage, but now the Orchid and Storm Spirit, he's stuck. No one beating into him, and he's down. He does have a buyback as well. Solo has already expended him, and he's on the way. Reinforcements on the way for Virtus Pro, but here comes the long zip in from Koifa off of his buyback. Tries to finish off Science, but a self-heal Scepter saves him, goes through the Linkage, breaks it, and gets him open for the Orchid. That no one finishes off Koifa 2 times in a row. Insania with a desperation TP out, but he will not be making it home. Don't worry, you won't be there for long, as it's looking like Liquid is just going to be cleaned up here in a 3 versus 5. Gonna try and force out that GG call as Taiga not getting away from this. That's certainly the case, and looks like ILTW got beaten down by a melee form Terrorblade. 3 heroes, no buyback. Taiga's gonna go for it, but it's him and Boxy, and neither one has the farm to stop that 5-man from Virtus Pro, claiming the Ancients. So Liquid, no doubt, just talking about what happened in this game, what they can look forward to heading into game 2.
I love that for the last